This business in marketing and tech, with over 30 employees, was literally weeks away from shutting down. Once thriving, they were now bleeding cash. Their biggest clients already left or they were about to. And payroll, don't even get me started, it was about to destroy them. Basically, they were this close to bankruptcy. Notice how my fingers are nearly touching. And somehow, we pulled them out in 60 days. Yeah. 2 months. Let me show you how. So when we showed up, the CEO, CTO, CMO all swore that their biggest problem was sales. And honestly, that's nice, but it's not true. At this point of their business, sales didn't even actually matter. If we had crammed more sales into their business, it would have just broken faster because the machine, which is their business itself, was broken. Projects were overdue, the team was tired and demoralized and overworked, leadership was stressed and yelling at people instead of, leading. And the books? Don't even get me started. No one could even explain why the profits were drying up. 30 employees, zero clarity. And without clarity, every dollar that comes in just evaporates. So what do? Here's the step-by-step. Step 1, audit. This is the most boring step that actually saves companies. We went through everything. People, processes, tools, expenses that came out of nowhere, their books, every role, every system, everything. Because you can't fix what you can't see and what you can't measure. And spoiler, most of it was a disaster, meaning that it was outdated, the necessary systems didn't exist simply, or some systems were just broken. We built SOPs for every critical function, layered in automations, and picked tools that actually works. Step 2, cut the dead weight. Next up, we had to make some painful cuts. During our audit, we discovered that some rules were simply slowing down the company. Some people were not in the right position. They were actually better for a different role. And some people weren't even actually working. A lot of their tools were ridiculously overpriced, and they definitely had cheaper alternatives. And for some of the tools that they were paying thousands of dollars for, they just simply weren't getting the most out of them because they didn't know how to get the most out of it. And with the leadership, we of course had a little heart-to-heart with the leadership about accountability. So not yelling, leading. We cut the tools, we cut the people that weren't aligned, we freed up capital so they could stop lighting money on fire. Not fun, but it was very much necessary. Step 3, rebuild with structure. Okay, so here's where it starts to get fun, or at least satisfying. We basically Marie Kondo'd the our operations. We built SOPs for every critical function, layered in automations, and picked tools that actually worked either within their budget or they were actually going to use. But, and this is important, we didn't just simply toss them new tools and systems and said good luck. We actually worked on integrating it into their everyday workflows. We set up project management systems, CRM systems, communication systems, and then trained the team on how to use all of it properly with real SOPs. I totally branded my company, not their company. Internally, we have a rule where if there's an SOP, it's a rule, not a suggestion, so you gotta do it. We kind of implemented the same policy in their business as well. Also, all of our SOPs are filmed because a lot of the tools that we use are digital, so it's just easier to have it on Loom rather than writing it all out and then changing it and people getting confused. So yeah, we train the whole team on all of these systems, otherwise it's just gonna be expensive wallpaper. Once people actually use the systems and processes and operations, things started to click. New hires ramped faster, existing team members had clarity, and leadership finally had visibility on their performance and their delivery. Everyone could kind of breathe again. Step 4, fix client acquisition. Now, obviously, you can't save a business without revenue. That's the whole point. So while we were stabilizing their team, we also set up emergency client acquisition systems. This means that we built a new strategy that puts them on a completely different level than all of their competitors, meaning that their leads would stop undervaluing them and they could actually charge more without losing clients. Which meant that, of course, we had to brainstorm ways to innovate their business and make their business more valuable and not seen as like a cheap option, which is what they were looking like before. We installed LinkedIn and email lead generation systems, of course, set up a CRM so that way their leads weren't falling through the cracks. That meant automated reminders, automated email nurtures, the works. Created a custom GPT to help with the tricky replies from leads, so that way the sales team didn't choke. Added automation so every lead was tracked and backed up, just in case for emergency. No more chaos. And because systems alone don't close deals, we rebuilt their sales structure, their sales agenda to increase their close rate. They mapped out a full content structure and system so that way they could build more trust and credibility, which then of course would connect to lead generation because everything has to be connected. We wrote their website, their landing pages, their case studies to match their new strategy and new offer. And of course, their branding, basically giving them all the credibility they were missing in the first place. 60 days later, they went from staring bankruptcy in the eyes to profitable, stable, and rebuilding. Leadership went from stressed and reactive, like venting in meetings, to actually calm, clear, and confident. So here's the lesson. Businesses do not collapse because of one bad month. They collapse because operations break quietly, leaders avoid hard decisions, and no one has visibility. Fix the operations and you can pull almost any company back from the edge of bankruptcy. So if you're a B2B business, agency, SaaS, tech, wholesale, and you've got something unique to sell, hear me out. Growth problems aren't just about sales and marketing. They're about operations. That is the glue. And that's the difference between shutting down and scaling up. Hi, my name is Brandie Wong. I'm the founder of Totally Branded, where we work with Performance B2B Companies. If you're interested in learning more about us or trying us out, you may want to check out our 7K and 7-day free trial. Or if you're looking for more of a long-term growth, we also have our operations free trial and our client acquisition free trial, where we will tackle any bottleneck, and I mean any bottleneck you can possibly have in your business, and give you a true taste of what it's like to actually have a fully functioning operations team. Operations is great like that. We can practically work in any department that you have trouble with. Feel free to book an exploration call with us if you just want to pick our brain, get to know us, or if you want to know what the best free trial is for your company. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment on this video. If you wanted to get to know me more, make sure to follow my LinkedIn and my Instagram. If you want to reach me or chat to me, LinkedIn is the best platform to reach me at. I hope you have a great day. Peace.